Michelle Obama famously said, when they go low, we go high. Are those days basically over?
I don't know that we can even call this a low. I mean, she goes to hell, and then I do my best to remind her as to why she should not cross me.
I appreciate you, Michelle Obama. I appreciate that. Yeah, when they go low, we go high. A couple times, not forever. No, we ain't going high forever. Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. Now, by now, you've seen the shot heard round the internet.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're reading.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
We even got merch. And that has got to be one of the greatest attributes of the black community. We will literally produce merch for just about anything. I am shocked that I have never been to a funeral, walked outside, and been able to buy a t-shirt. I don't know how anybody has not got on top of that. There's even music too, but you know what? I'll let the music take us out. But in the aftermath, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett took her Marjorie Taylor Greene championship parade to CNN, and in doing so highlighted a phenomenon I like to call working while black.
Yeah, and I hear that, but she went after your appearance, and then like you went back at her 1,000-fold.
I did, in a very lawyerly way.
But obviously she started it. I'm not disputing that, but do you regret that at all?
When you described Greene in this request for clarification as a bleached blonde, bad-built butch body, which I had to look at my notes to read. Any regrets about that kind of language?
Let's also let it not go unnoticed that Marjorie Taylor Greene has repeatedly refused to apologize and very begrudgingly had her remarks stricken from the record. But here you have Jasmine Crockett asked repeatedly whether she has any regrets. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is not asked whether she has any regrets, but it's about Jasmine Crockett, whether you have any regrets. That is interesting. That is real interesting.
Any regrets about that kind of language, especially given that you were trying to make a point, frankly, about decorum in the hearing room?
I have no regrets, and I'll tell you why. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is the type of person that if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. And the fact that they continue to allow her to break the rules of decorum over and over and over, whether it's the State of the Union that the president is delivering and she's wearing a Maga hat or otherwise, the reason that she didn't have committee assignments before was because she did not know how to conduct herself as a member of Congress. And so if I just sit there and say, oh, well, Marjorie said it about me, what's to stop her to continue to do it again and again? And at the end of the day, I was elected as a representative of Congress, but that doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be somebody's doormat.
That is an excellent point. A number of excellent points that she raised. Number one, about Marjorie Taylor Greene's committee assignments. There's no way in hell anybody would openly welcome her onto any committee. She was able to leverage that as a part of negotiation for the speaker. Keep that in mind. Number two, she mentioned, I'm not here to be anybody's doormat. In other words, you actually already have regulations to prevent this thing from coming to a head that you refuse to respect, so you leave it upon me to have to defend myself because you won't protect me as an employee. Working while black. I also appreciate that she laid down that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a habitual line stepper. And we all know a habitual line stepper.
Step across the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
Somebody who has been enabled by whether it's their significant other, by whether it's their old job, by whether it's their friend group, whatever the case may be, they think they can just act however they want without any repercussions, and then they bring that behavior to you. So then it becomes incumbent upon you to correct said behavior when that's not your job and you don't have the time or the inclination to raise another adult. But she had time today, and in that moment, she sunned Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is how you handle habitual line steppers. But if you do your job, We shouldn't have to.
Greene brushed off any criticism that she got over the last 24 hours, writing this: AOC isn't intelligent. Jasmine Crockett has fake eyelashes. These aren't attacks on personalities. These are just facts. CNN actually asked her for comment, and this is a statement that we received. She said, the only member that brought up any reference to color was Congresswoman Crockett. She's putting that on you.
You have since called her racist, Congresswoman Greene. I want to understand your perspective of this. Do you think her going after your eyelashes, that in itself is racist?
I think her specifically doing it to me, yes, that was the intent. As has been stated, you know, women wear makeup, we wear lashes, we wear all types of things to beautify ourselves. But MAGA has historically been on social media doing the things where they're saying, oh, she's black with lashes and nails and hair, and so she's ghetto. And so to me, this was her buying into that rhetoric and trying to amplify this for the MAGA crowd. And so, yeah, I absolutely think that she only did it to be racist towards me.
Oh, okay, so we are still hiding our hand. We are still throwing rocks and then hiding our hand, Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are just facts, right? These are just the facts that I just pulled out of thin air and happened to throw out there. Then why is it that the reaction to the worst of your constituency, and by that I mean internet constituency, not actually people using the internet in Georgia, because I don't know that they have the internet and see exactly what a fool you're acting like on Capitol Hill. But I'm talking about the worst of the MAGAs on the internet who immediately went with ghetto in criticizing Jasmine Crockett. They gave away the game. I don't know if you're on the internet and you saw that they gave away the game by immediately calling Jasmine Crockett ghetto, and you just happen to go with fake eyelashes. That's a nice try.
In that moment in the hearing room, why did you react the way that you did to the comment that Marjorie Taylor Greene made about you?
So I want to clarify that I actually did not react instantaneously. I actually was trying to allow the process to work. So you heard from AOC, who is our vice ranking member, and you heard from Jamie Raskin, who's our ranker, as we attempted to go through the process. And there was an agreement, and of course, Marjorie had to be Marjorie, and she refused to actually apologize. Therefore, I needed clarification as to why the chairman refused to actually take her words down, which meant that she would be kicked out of the committee room for the rest of the hearing, which would have been appropriate.
In other words, had you adjudicated this the way that you are supposed to, the way that you have instilled in Jasmine Crockett and everybody else who's sitting there in that committee room, had you actually followed through on the rules of decorum, she would have been ejected. And to Jasmine Crockett's credit, she actually did say nothing until this process had all played itself out. So it's your enabling of Marjorie Taylor Greene's behavior that brought this to a head. But yes, of course, Jasmine Crockett would be the ghetto one for adhering to the rules that you have laid down, that you refuse to enforce, and she refuses to respect, working while black.
But Michelle Obama famously said, when they go low, we go high. Are those days basically over?
I don't know that we can even call this a low. I mean, she goes to hell, and then I do my best to remind her as to why she should not cross me.
I appreciate you, Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. Maybe once, maybe twice. Not forever. No, we're not going high forever.
So one of your colleagues, Jamie Raskin, actually suggested that some members might have been drinking. Others have said that as well, making that suggestion. That's a pretty serious allegation. Do you think that that played a factor here?
I think with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it doesn't require alcohol for her to be unhinged. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know. I don't have any facts to that. So, I won't say and I won't participate in rumors when I don't have any facts behind it.
Now, I just want you to imagine what the response would be if somebody from the MAGA crowd was given the question saying that there was supposedly some drinking that was involved, and they had the opportunity to give life, air, and oxygen to that kind of supposition, do you think they would take it? Do you think they would take it? Even in this moment, Jasmine Crockett is choosing to go high. I see you, girl.
Yeah, and I hear that, but she went after your appearance, and then like you went back at her 1,000-fold.
I did, in a very lawyerly way.
But do you? Obviously, she started it. I'm not disputing that. But do you regret that at all?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. Because here's the thing. I signed up to be a member of Congress. That didn't mean that I was supposed to walk into a position where I'm going to walk in and be disrespected. It's already a hostile work environment being there, and we do have rules. The problem with MAGA is that MAGA does not respect rules, nor do they respect the law. That is exactly why they're all running up to Trump's trial, because he's in trouble not because of some big conspiracy by the Biden administration. He's in trouble because he fails to respect the law. The reason that the Supreme Court right now is debating whether or not Trump can commit crimes or any president can commit crimes and then be let off is because they have no respect for law. The party of law and order is gone at this point in time.
Now that may be the single biggest takeaway from all of this, and it's something that I've outlined in past episodes of Street Politics. Their refusal to adhere to the rules of decorum or the rules of law and think that they are above it. I just did a Racist of the Week about the Fox producer who just thought he could park whenever he wanted to and could drive around with his place expired because it doesn't apply to him, right? And why would it when you look up to a man who is right now running the Republican Party, who repeatedly feels like the rules don't apply to him, in fact, went all the way to the Supreme Court to say that the rules don't apply to him. So what is that pass that gives you the magic ability to do whatever you want and feel like the rules don't apply to you? What is it? Is it height? Is it hair color? I'm trying to figure that out. What is it? I'm trying to figure out where I can buy that pass to just go about life and do whatever I want and feel like the rules don't apply to me. Do they sell it at Costco? I have been on every aisle. I have yet to see the Mario star that just allows you to just roam free without any repercussions or clapback. I didn't know that existed. Then all of a sudden they come across one of us and we act like we live in the real world that has real life ramifications and you act shocked. I also want to give a shout out to everybody who picked Congresswoman Crockett up on the internet and shared their own heartfelt stories. And also those who put it to song as well.
She's a bleached blonde, bad-built butch body, swinging for the fences, good God almighty. A heat-seeking missile, too scared to debate, cries like a baby when she don't get her way. Yeah, she can dish it out, but she sure can't take it. Her whole damn life, she just fakes it to make it. Nobody cares what she has to say. Some new eyelashes wouldn't help her anyway, 'cause she's a bleached blonde, bad-built butch body, swinging for the fences, good God almighty. A heat-seeking missile, too scared to debate, cries like a baby when she can't get her way. Yeah, she's out there pushing their propaganda. Can't get it done, just blame it on Brandon. She loves to talk tough, throw around her weight. Oh, baby girl, don't even play.
Last but not least, I gotta thank the racists for exposing themselves. Generally speaking, they give themselves some kind of cover, whether it be a DEI or blaming CRT, or looking at the children, or talking about our heritage and our history or something like that. Normally they'll give themselves some kind of cover for their racism. But in this moment where you clearly, everybody saw what happened, everybody saw who started it, and they still jumped out there with ghetto and calling her everything but a child of God, just allowed the naked racism to roam free. And you know, quite frankly, I gotta feel happy for racism, because it's been a while since racism been able to roam free. You know, they always gotta be covered up by some bullshit argument. It must feel great for them to just really let the sun hit your butt and just really be able to free us. It's healthy. It's healthy. It's grounding for racism is what it is. Racism got some grounding by being able to just touch the ground and being free to express itself freely. Here's one that I particularly enjoyed. OMG, Jasmine Ghetto Crockett told CNN that MTG's joke about her eyelashes was absolutely racist. Everything is racist to these hood rats. Stop playing the race and victim card. She just really went and typed everything is racist to these hood rats with not a lick of self-awareness. I would love to be able to go about life with that little self-awareness. I really would. I really would. Like the things that would be possible if I could have that little self-awareness to type out everything is racist to these hood rats. Man, really it's a waste of potential. It is a real waste of potential that amount of unbridled confidence exists in somebody who's using their time on the internet in this way. There's also this one. Jasmine Crockett went on CNN and said she doesn't regret acting like a thug. Oh, they love using thug in Congress when she went unhinged with insane shouting and vulgarity against Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Crockett is as low IQ and low class as you get. Expel her. Now, I have outlined myself, as has Jasmine Crockett outlined, the many ways in which Marjorie Taylor Greene has been a habitual line stepper when it comes to the rules of decorum, but it is Jasmine Crockett that needs to be expelled. And they also go with low IQ and low class. Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett has a law degree and Marjorie Taylor Greene's highest level completed involves some form of CrossFit. Not to mention the fact that she couldn't even sit and be decent at the State of the Union address, which has been happening for decades. And there's been a lot of lunatics that have sat and watched the State of the Union address just because we just have a lot of lunatics in society. They all were quiet. None of them wore hats. She wore a hat, but Jasmine Crockett has to be expelled, and she is low IQ and low class. I feel like it is high time we redefine the word ghetto. You know, I feel like it has really gotten away from its roots because where I come from, you know, being ghetto would be some form of, I don't know, multiple baby mamas on your third marriage with 81 cases, one of which involves you paying a sex worker. Like that would probably be pretty ghetto, or maybe being kicked out of a theater because you can't keep your hands to yourself as an adult, and then coming out and lying and saying that it wasn't you over vaping, which actually was far from the worst offense, but you let it get to that point because you challenged the vaping. Like that would probably be pretty, you know what I mean? That would probably be, you know, vaping around a pregnant lady while you getting handsy. That would be pretty ghetto. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that'd be pretty ghetto. And that's before we even get to Marjorie Taylor Greene and the whole thing with the chef and the trainer. And, you know, I feel like we need to redefine the word ghetto. And you know what? I got time. Like Jasmine Crockett said, I got time. So stay tuned.
Don't come for me. That is all that I need to tell her. Don't come for me.